we do have two prepared speeches tonight. One will be by Olu, but the first speech that we have tonight is by none other than our president herself, Courtni Hatton. Yay! Courtni is a sales professional working at Greater Houston Partnership. She is on the journey to complete her level 2 pathway. Awesome. Today, she will present a speech from the Dynamic Leadership Pathway Level 2, Managing Time. Courtni's speech today is about how to maximize your 24 hours. Courtni Hatton, strategies to maximize your 24 hours. Please help me welcome Courtni.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Guests, Toastmasters. With the number of COVID-19 cases on the rise, most people are working from home. Unlike most teleworking statistics that report that employees working from home have increased job satisfaction, more employee engagement, and are able to save money, with our recent climate, these statistics are no longer valid. In fact, Stanford University identified 4 factors that make working from home today during a global pandemic different from even 6 months ago. These factors are children, space, privacy, and choice. So by a show of hands, who can identify not being as productive as they want due to the above factors? Yes. So to help you maximize your 24 hours, I will briefly discuss 4 strategies I use to make the most of my work week. So if you're anything like me, a lot of the time I find myself looking at all of the things I have to accomplish and just work things. I become instantly overwhelmed. Good news for you, you're not alone. The way I declutter my brain is by waking up in the morning and immediately writing down all of the tasks I have to complete that day. Then I take it a step further and I organize my tasks by importance and by urgency. You may have guessed it by now, but I am referring to the important urgent matrix. This method, sometimes called the Eisenhower matrix, is the simplest method by many to adopt into your day-to-day schedule. All you have to do is take your list of all of the things you need to accomplish that day and your non-negotiables and organize them into quadrants. And the quadrants are as listed. The first is important and urgent. So these are all of your must-do tasks. These are the tasks that you want to accomplish within the first 1 to 2 hours of your workday. The second quadrant is the important but not urgent tasks. So these are all of your should-dos. These are the tasks that you could probably delegate to someone in your organization. The third is urgent, not important. So these are all of your could-do tasks that if you have time or if it's a slow work week, you could get accomplished. And the last task is your not urgent, not important. So these are your shouldn't do's. And if you have many shouldn't do's, this is a good time to just reevaluate where your time is going because it's probably not aligning with your annual goals. Using this technique has really aided me in managing my time and really focusing on what's paramount. So the second task is the Pomodoro technique. If you are not familiar with this technique, it is a time management method that was developed in the late 80s. This way, the technique is used, or the way the technique is used is by breaking down tasks into 25 to 30-minute intervals with short 5 to 10-minute breaks in between. Each interval is known as a Pomodoro. So it's derived from the Italian word tomato. I won't get into the history, but it's pretty fascinating, so I encourage you to check it out. The way I implement this technique into my 9-to-5 workday is by using that list of non-negotiables that I have previously discussed, and I allocate time to each one of those quadrants. So I block 25 to 30 minutes for each task within a quadrant, and I can separate that too based on the different types of quadrants. So it just really depends what's best for you. But this task helps me stay focused and more productive. And fun fact, for most people, it takes 23 minutes and 15 seconds to recover from an interruption. So it's extremely vital that you find time in order to arrange your task by time in a way that you're maximizing your full 8 hours of the day. So after making a list and organizing that list based on my urgency and my importance, and then allocating time to complete task at hand, you might start to feel tired. I know I do. So with that in mind, I usually take what's called a caffeine nap. So what is a caffeine nap, you ask? Well, it's a short 15 to 20-minute period of sleep that occurs during the day immediately following the consumption of caffeine. This may seem odd, but the science behind why this method works is that caffeine takes around 20 minutes to take effect. So if sleep occurs right after you consume that cup of joe, then the body is actually using 2 ways to combat drowsiness. So I usually take these naps after lunch or right before my midday crash at 2 p.m. Remember, these naps should only be taken from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. to avoid affecting sleep. Now, my fourth and final technique is find time to respond to my emails. If your workday is anything like mine, there are dozens, even billions of emails flooding into your inbox. So allocating time helps me respond, stay accountable, and it really mitigates me forgetting to respond to a client within a good amount of time, so 24 to 48 hours. I hope you found these tips to be helpful and will begin to utilize some of these tips within the coming weeks. There are many, many more tips and suggestions on how to maximize your 24 hours, but you have to do what's best for you. So as a general overview, the way I stay productive during my 9 to 5 workday is by waking up, making a list of all tasks I have to accomplish, including my non-negotiables, and then I organize them using the important, urgent matrix, which helps me manage my time. And last, I find time for rest, and I find time to respond to emails. So if you have any questions or you'd like more information about my productivity routine, please direct message me during our meeting. Thank you.